So this is just a introduction speech that I want to give about myself. If you guys don't mind, I'd like you to introduce yourselves. Let's start on my end first. So back, just introduce yourself.
Hi, this is who is that?
Yeah, and then do you mind introducing yourself?
Okay. Yeah. Hi. I'm Tin. I'm Hui's brother, and I'm also recording on the phone.
Okay. And anyone else want to introduce themselves?
Okay, hi, this is Zhao.
Hi, Joe. And anyone else after him?
I'm Hannah.
Uh huh.
Cousin? I'm his cousin.
Uh huh.
Hi, I'm Hong and his aunt.
Mhm.
Grandma.
Yeah. And all right, that's cool.
Alright, and hi, I'm Vivian. I'm Hui's cousin.
Cool, awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, so let me go ahead and just set this up then. Get started. All right. So, this is just an introduction speech, and so before I begin, I'd like everyone to sort of reminisce to your early childhood, to when you were younger, and as a young adult. Think of the memories you had back then. What do you remember? You remember things like people you meted, like people you met, places you were, events that happened. But there's often that you remember a book or a song or a certain movie you see. And this is the influence pop culture has on us. No matter what our environment is, wherever we are, some way, in some form, pop culture seeps into that environment, and since it seeps into that environment, it shapes who we are. So I want to go ahead and introduce three things, items of pop culture that help shape who I am. So the first item I want to introduce is a song. It's Everlong by the Foo Fighters. And this is a rock song that was created back in 1997. And I first heard this song when I was in 7th grade in middle school, when I was starting to identify my own musical interests and own musical taste. And at its core, Everlong is a song about love and about remembering the good times. And it sort of represents who I am, because back then I was kind of anxious, kind of nervous, meeting new people and such. And so whenever I wanted to get away from that feeling, I would sort of think of this song, and I would sort of think of the good times and escape into a good environment. So whenever I felt like I was in an anxious or bad environment, I could handle myself better by just escaping into this place. And it sort of shapes who I am, because from now on, when I'm in a bad environment, I think of good places to go so I can handle the situation better. Also, it helps that when I first learned how to play the guitar, this was one of the first songs that I learned how to play. So it helps me relieve tension even to this day. The second item I want to share is a book. It's called World War Z, and it is a zombie apocalypse novel. And even though it's a zombie apocalypse novel, it's not why it's one of my favorites. The reason why I enjoyed the novel so much is because it is a novel about people. And so the novel takes place in the form of multiple points of view of various characters around the world. And so you go from India, you go to Russia, you go to China, and you meet these people and how they're handling the zombie apocalypse. But the thing is, even though they're all handling the zombie apocalypse in different areas, they share the same common feelings. They share the same anxiousness, the same sorrows, the same joys. And this represents how I approach the world, because even though if I meet someone new from a different culture, I can understand that they share the same passions and the same feelings and sensations that I do. So I can understand them, and I recognize, like throughout this, using this novel as an example, that human beings all share the same experiences. And so the final item I want to bring up is a TV miniseries. And this miniseries is called Band of Brothers, and it was released back in 2001. And it follows the 101st Airborne Regiment, specifically Easy Company of that regiment. And it follows these men into combat, where they battle with the Germans during and at the European theater of World War II. So I've always been a big history nerd. I've always enjoyed military history very deeply. And so I was always naturally gravitated towards items of this nature. But the reason why this has stuck with me is because I am drawn to its themes of honor, of duty, of sacrifice, of dedication. And throughout the miniseries, these men and women, they suffer pains and they're stripped down to their bare core. And nothing powers them through this except their dedication and their honor and their duty to each other. And so when I'm in a situation where I like have nothing left to push me on, I resort to these feelings of honor, of duty, and of dedication to sort of push me through difficult situations. And so this is sort of represents that in its own way. And so ultimately, these are 3 super important popular culture items that shaped who I am. Hopefully, I have a long life to live, and I'll be able to experience more items of popular culture that will help shape me. But as an introduction, these are sort of the quintessential items that help make Huidin who he is. Thank you. All right, thanks, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Yeah, thanks.